Hey everybody, it's Chris Riggs here with the GTR Bible, and today I want to talk about going fast at the drag strip. Who doesn't want to talk about that? So let's talk a bit about going fast at the drag strip and what do you need? What are the tools of the trade to go consistently fast at the drag strip? And if you really want to go fast, you should consider this. This is Joe Martinez 999 15-inch brake conversion. It uses some OE hardware off of another Nissan vehicle that happens to plug and play right into the rear of the GTR. And it cuts about 50 pounds of weight off of the car, which is a massive amount of weight reduction. You're also cutting a lot of rolling mass off the car, which helps in acceleration. And this allows you to cut these world record 60-foot times that we see guys out there. When you look at the 6 and the 7-second cars around the world, they're all using some form of this kit. There's various companies that make it. Joe prices it the least costly. It's extremely cost effective. And I think he does a great job because you are retaining factory functionality, like, for example, your e-brake. So this particular combo, $1,000, for the most part, plug and play kit, no major modification of any kind, and very cost effective. So, if I look at my car on a 17-inch wheel and tire, I was able to get into the 1.3 range, and I can run 17-inch wheels on the factory calipers and rotors. You can go down to a 17-inch wheel and tire. But I could never get the car to go below 1.3 range. That was the best I could ever get. And so going into this and doing this particular conversion on my car, dropped my car into the 1.26 range. I went 1.26 in Texas, Texas 2K, and allowed me to get that 7-second pass. So, consumers will say, well, Chris, that's cool and everything. This is a race car mod. I'm not a race car man. This is my daily driver. That sounds great and gravy. I just go to the track, a handful of times a year. Do I really need this? And if I do, is there any sort of performance detriment? And I'm happy to tell you that in my own personal car, I've not noticed any performance detriment. My car, I was concerned about it when I first did this conversion. I kind of thought, even myself, this is a race car modification. Okay, Chris, we've taken the car to that point. Let's go get that 7-second pass. And we're going to just kind of look past some other deficiencies of daily drivability. And I'm happy to report that I've not noticed any. I've taken this car, done some very spirited driving on the street from high mile an hour to a stop. And I will honestly, genuinely say that I've not noticed any, and I mean any difference in braking performance. If anything, it's just solidified what I already had thought about the car, which is they are extremely forward braking biased. I mean, it seems like the front does almost everything in this car. Now, I'm not telling you, if you're a road racer, no, you probably don't want to consider this. Keep your factory rear rotors and calipers in the car. But if this is a race car, if you're a drag strip guy, if drag racing is important to you or you street race, and you're going to launch the car, this is a no-brainer. Whether you're a full bolt-on, a lot of consumers will wait and save this. They view this as more of like, I don't know, that north of 1,000 horsepower mod. When I make big power, I'll do this conversion. And I'm telling you right now, there are full bolt-on cars around the country that are out there every single weekend trying to go 9s on stock turbos, and that's a goal for them, and they should have this. You probably would have gone 9s a long time ago had you cut some weight off of the car, cut some rolling mass off of the car, and gone to a 15-inch conversion. So there's no reason, if you're serious about the drag strip, I don't care what power level you make, you should consider this mod. It's $1,000. It's a pretty affordable value for what you're getting. Consumers will say, well, okay, let's just say that I go that path. I really don't want to run slicks on the street. This is my daily driver. I'm happy to tell you that if you want that versatile kind of all around, tire, I run the Mickey Thompson ET Street R. My own personal car in Texas back in March, I cut a 126 60-foot on this setup on the ET Street R, which is a drag radial. It is very street friendly. You won't have any sort of issues from that standpoint. I wouldn't necessarily get caught in the rain in it, but as a tire that you can drive to the track, on the street, back from the track, pending it's not raining, that setup is extremely streetable, and did cut that 126 60-foot for me. So, I don't know. I see the comments in the community, and guys will say, well, Chris, they're always giving me excuses for, why the car doesn't perform. And they'll say, well, I don't have Motec and I don't have Scivex. And, really what they lack is this kind of stuff. They're making plenty of power. Power is not their problem, but they're on bone stock suspension. They're on, factory wheels and tires, and they're making 1,000 horsepower. And they're going to the drag strip. They don't understand why the car doesn't perform. You don't have to have Motec or Cyvex. Let me tell you what Motec and Cyvex provide. What Motec and Cyvex provide is consistency. That's what I've seen in my own personal car. My car on Motec is like a bracket car. You make pass after pass after pass, and all of my passes are really within like hundredths of a second of one another. It's just super consistent. That's what the standalone option provides, but it doesn't mean you can't go fast on the stock ECU. We got stock ECU guys. Cobb's been sevens for, 5 or 6 years now, and Ecutech's done it in the past year. So you can go really, really, really fast at the level of the stock ECU. It's just that most guys, if they're not going to go to a standalone engine management system, a lot of them are not willing to put the money even into this kind of stuff. So when you look at the guys that have gone sevens on stock ECU, they're on a 15-inch full and tire conversion. And so I think that's really an important takeaway, is not to get jaded. People get jaded because they assume that you need all these extra nannies, when really at the most basic of days, guys have been going fast the drag strip for 50 years. But this has always been the core. It's always been wheels, tires, and suspension. And so I think standalone engine management is great if the budget is there, but I don't think you have to have it. You don't have to have it to go fast. You need wheels, tires, suspension. You need a boatload of power. And if you've got those things, you're going to go fast in the drag strip, whether you're on stock ECU or aftermarket ECU. Spend the $1,000. Consider this conversion. I think it's one of the best bang for the buck modifications that you can do for a fast drag car.